Hello YouTube, this is Drew again with another dash cam drive through town in South Carolina today. You guys are probably tired of hearing that exact same intro every time, but yet here we are. Anyway, we are visiting the town of Isle of Palms, South Carolina in Charleston County. Isle of Palms is probably what you'd guess. It's an isle or an island, not an Isle of Palms though, more of an Isle of beach homes. It is just outside of Mount Pleasant and across the inlet from Sullivan's Island. And according to Wikipedia, it is from that inlet that the famed CSS H.L. Hunley, the first warfare submarine launched, could be the first submarine. I'm confident on the warfare part though. And went after a Union ship, successfully took it down, but sunk itself and was not found until the late 90s, I believe. 1990s, not 1890s. And today it can be found, I think, off of I-526 in Mount Pleasant or something like that in a museum. So a couple quick things about Isle of Palms. It is clearly an affluent area, and compared to my very first video on YouTube doing this type of thing was a dash cam drive through Pawleys Island, I would say this is by far probably the closest place I've come to Pawleys Island since, and I've learned to gain some appreciation for places like this. They're not very common. They're beautiful places. Look at the trees. I mean, the foliage. I guess they're palmettos or palms. I think those are more palms, but because I think palmettos are shorter. I could be wrong though. Don't quote me on that. I'm by far not a plant expert. What I do like though is towns, cities, as you can guess if you've watched any of these videos, local government kind of things. And I would just want to point out that I went onto IOP.net. I believe that was the correct website. Yes, it is. Which is the Isle of Palms city government website. And I was kind of skeptical because it was .net instead of .gov. But let me just tell y'all, that is one of, if not the best, town websites I've ever been on. That is, as a political science graduate that I am, and you like local politics, local stuff, that website is kind of a dream for you as far as statistics go and that kind of thing. They have everything on that site. I didn't stay on there for long. I was on there about 3 to 5 minutes, and I opened up their 2023 success PowerPoint type thing, and I was blown away by just the information that was available to citizens, visitors, anything else that, or anyone else who may stumble upon that website. Another thing that I learned while researching Isle of Palms was that a U.S. Supreme Court case came out of this where a guy essentially sued the South Carolina state law or conservatory commission or something like that. I just briefly read it, so please don't hold me accountable for if I got something wrong here. I don't even remember the guy's name. I think it was Lucas. Sounds correct. Of course, that being his last name, but I'm not even 100% sure on that. Anyway, and this is from Wikipedia. The state passed a law in the 70s basically saying that you can't really do anything with oceanfront property anymore that the state deems as being important. And by the way, here's the business district of Isle of Palms, or what looks to me like the main drag, as people say. Anyway, he sued the state basically saying that the state law violated his 2 lots that he owned were both vacant, and they weren't letting him do what he wanted to on them. And the Supreme Court ruled in his favor, and the state paid him $850,000 for both lots. And in one of the lots, a home is now built on it, which is what a turn of events that is. I remember I learned about that in one of my constitutional law classes in school, in college. Um, Shout out Coastal Carolina University. Go Shots. But anyway, so that was something I had forgotten about until I read that. And I was like, oh yeah, I learned about that. And we're going to do a quick little U-turn, and I'm going to place this video in double speed for just a moment while we kind of cover the same area twice. You'll get to see another side of the road and everything, but it is just where we had just come from. Also, I actually sat in on the South Carolina Supreme Court came to Coastal, and we listened to them do a case again where somebody was suing Sullivan's Island, which is next door. So it's kind of weird. That, of course, the case I talked about here was a Supreme Court case, not a state court. I do not know why I said Supreme, but Supreme. There is a flamingo house. It's called Casa Flamingo. It's to the left. You'll see all the flamingos. That was probably one of the neatest homes I've ever seen. It's a beach vacation, of course. I think we did the math. It would cost you like $6,000 to rent it for a week, something close to that. We looked it up, but it's a nice looking home from the outside. It's pink and has flamingos everywhere. But anyway, now we're getting ready to mosey on back on the roads to Mount Pleasant, and my trip to Charleston that day would be basically over with back home through Georgetown and the like. I also filmed North Charleston on this trip, but I got a lot of interstate on it and not really a lot of the town. And after I kind of reviewed it, I was like, I'm not going to pull a Lexington or an Irmo and just upload it. I'm going to do a better job, I think, of getting that. So there's that, and now we're going to double speed here as we're leaving the town. And we'll be going over the bridge back to the mainland. That was Isle Palm, South Carolina.